Now we see the topic ionization enthalpy. So ionization enthalpy, or it has another name is called ionization potential, and you can see ionization enthalpy. This is unit is given kilojoule per mole, but in case of ionization potential, unit is electron volts per atom. So this is atom wise, this is per mole wise. So this is 1 mole of atoms, atom per atoms. How much potential is given by the electrons, or an electron has how much potentials. So this is a two different meaning only, but in terms of energy it is same. So in both cases you can see it is amount of minimum amount of energy. It is a minimum amount of energy. You have to point out this important point. Required to remove most loosely bound electron from an isolated atom in the gaseous state of an element, so as to convert it into the gaseous monovalent positive ion. So here we are removing electron from the loosely bound. We are removing loosely bound electron from the gaseous state of the element. So actually process is, you take any metal. Suppose this metal is solid. So first you convert into gas by sublimation process. So sublimation process is the process in which solid is converted to gas. So here you convert to gas. So after gas you have to remove one electron. So if you give energy to this metal, then loosely bound electron means normally valence electron. So they will knocked out from the valences and it become positive charge, but it will be gaseous state. So this is the electron, and first energy of this metal is m plus electron is there. Now we can remove next electron also. If you remove next electron also, so you will get this metal m plus will be converted into m positive in gaseous state, and we will get second I2 energy. Okay, and again if you want to remove one more electron, we can remove it. So on removing one more electron, we will get here m2 plus will change into m3 plus. Again this is called I3 energy. So in cases we are getting some energy also. So IE is also called delta I1, delta H. This is I2, this is delta I3. So three all are same. I1, I2 or I3 all are same energy. But in case here we say I3 energy of IE3 is greater than the I2 is greater than the IE1. Energy wise this will be greater, means energy obtained from the energy required to remove the electron from IE3 is more than this one, than this one, then this one. Now why we here we require more ionization energy? See, actually what happens, so if you see region is here this atom M3 plus have a more effective Z effective charge, that is called effective nuclear charge more. Effective nuclear charge, I think you know that it is the Z by E, means number of proton by number of electrons. If the number of proton is more than the number of proton is more than the number of electrons, so this electron pulling power increases. So here more electron pulling power. Okay, so they can hold the nucleus very tightly close to the nucleus, so this can be difficult to remove it, so we get large amount of energy. But in this case such effective nuclear charge is slightly decreases as compared to this one. So electron is less tightly pulled towards the nucleus as compared to IE1. Here I have written more tightly pulled towards nucleus is comparing with IE1. So IE1 it is loosely held, but here it will be tightly held, here will be most tightly held. That's why amount of energy in this case I2 is much more than the I2 than I1. And unit is of the ionization energy is ionization enthalpy is 1 electron volt per atom, so which value is 23.06 kilocalorie per mole in terms of calorie, or if you want to write in terms of mole is kilojoule per mole is 96.49 kilojoule per mole. So this is the ionization potential. You can calculate by using the data also. Let us see one example of aluminum. So aluminum, so when you will this is aluminum gaseous state. So when you take out one electron, this becomes Al2 plus. So this is your IE1. This will be your IE2. Again, so if you remove one more electron, it becomes IE3. So here electron be here, the electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and electrons will be more. So this electron will be more tightly attracted toward the nucleus as compared to L2 plus and Al. So ionization energy of I2 will be greater than I1 for electrons. Okay. If you remove one more electron, so it will acquire say you have to remove electron from the this one Al2 plus 2. So here I have missed, it's okay, this will be not plus 2, this will be Al plus 1. Okay, here will be your Al gas 2, Al plus 1. This will be your IE1, this will be your IE2, this will be your IE3. Okay, this we have to slightly change this one data. Now see here, second point is, this is the Z effective charge. Now second point, ionization energy is endothermic. Okay, so endothermic means it will absorb energy. Okay, it will be absorb energy. So it is expressed in kilocalorie per mole, kilojoule per mole, or electron volt, that we have seen earlier also. Factors affecting the ionization enthalpy. So which are the factors that affect the ionization enthalpy? So first factor is the size of the atom. How size of the atom affects? So ionization energy is inversely proportional to atomic size. If the size of the atom is very big, then what happens? Electrons present in that atom's valence electron is very far away from the nucleus, and it can be easily removed by the any other atoms. Like one you can see here. If you see in group wise, group 1, take the example group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So all these elements are belong to one group. So size you can see here, cesium is bigger in size, so here it will be loosely bound electron. So electron can be easily removed from the cesiums, and for that removal we require less energy, but lithium is small in size, here require more non-atom energy. So size of the atom also affects the ionization energy. Size, more size, less energy we require. Screening effect. So screening effect or shielding effect. There are two names are there. So what is shielding effect? So screening effect, here ionization energy is inversely for screening effect. So screening effect means which is stopping the this one electrons to be attracted towards the nucleus. So we have seen it, suppose this is a nucleus and there are so many valence electrons are there. Suppose this is valence electrons, here some electrons are there, some electrons. So these two will be act as a screen. So they will screen this electron. They will screen this electron being attracted towards the nucleus. So this will be mostly loosely bound and can be easily taken away by any other atom. That's why if there is more shielding, then what happens? Ionization will be your more or less. Okay, and if there will be less shielding, then ionization energy will be more. So here depend. So if more shielding means less energy, less shielding means more energy. So on this basis, shielding also affect the ionization energy of the atom. Now second is nuclear charge along the period. So if you say nuclear charge along the period, it is proportional. Along the period, take some metals like lithium, beryllium, some elements are lithium, barium, boron, carbon, nitrogen. So along the period, ionization energy increases. Why increases? Because effective nuclear charge also increases. Nuclear charge increases, not effective, we can say nuclear charge increases. So here we can see, here we have 3 protons, here 4 protons, 5 protons, 6 protons, and 7 protons. So if you see the valence electron 2s1, 2s2, here 2s2, 2p1. So electron will be removed from the 2p1. Here electron will be removed from the 2p2. Here electron will be removed from 2p3, means third electron of 2p. So ionization energy will here it will increase as proportional to nuclear charge. So here it will increase. So there are some more things are there why it will increase along the period. So we'll see. Ionization energy of beryllium is lesser than the ionization energy of lithium. Why? Because beryllium contains 2s1 cell. So electrons is first electron is present in 2s1 cell. Okay, and here lithium also present 2s1 cell. So here 2s2 is there, here 2s1 is there. So 2s2. So here ionization energy is actually 2s2. This is 2s1. This is fully filled orbital, and this is the half filled. So here energy we require more, here energy we require less. Similarly, IE1 of nitrogen will be greater than IE electron of carbon. Why? Because here is 2p3. This will be your carbon is a 2p4. The 2p4, 2p4. So electron is difficult to take out from this one half filled orbital, but here it is easy to take out from the fourth electron. So we will see here 2p subcell by the 2p subcell has more energy than the 2s subcell. So we will see next topic how depends on the type of subcell from which electron is removed. So this is also affecting this ionization enthalpy of the atom. So how? See here, energy of subcell. So here subcell if you see that F is more energy, D is more energy, P is more energy, S is less energy. If S is less energy, then what happens? They will pull towards by the nucleus. So S will be more closer to nucleus, P will be away, D will be away, and F is more far away from the nucleus, hold of the nucleus. What happens? So it is very difficult to pull out electron from the S, followed by P, then followed by D, then followed by D. So that's why we can say ionization energy of the beryllium is much more than the ionization energy of the boron. Okay, so here 2p is closer to the nucleus, 2p far away from the nucleus, so this energy is more, this energy less. So here we have written IE1 for lithium, beryllium, boron. So beryllium is, you can see here 2s2, this is your 2p1, and this is your 2s1. So definitely 2s1 is half filled, the full field, so here it will require more energy, and this is s orbital, definitely s orbital, this is p, this is s. So here s means 2 half filled also there, full field also there, and closer to nucleus also there. Here it is very difficult to knock out one electron from the this one. Again, if you remove one electron, so it will become lithium positive, and this will become boron positive, this is beryllium. So here beryllium we have a you write here positive. So in this case it has 2 minus 2 electron, 2s2 electron, 2p, 2s1 electron. So one electron can be easily removed. Okay, but this is full filled. So 1s is more closer to nucleus, then it is far away from the nucleus, so it has more energy, it has less energy. So C will be Li plus B plus will be like this. Now next is your half filled and full filled orbital. So this is one of the another factor which also defines that ionization energy depends on the half field. So that we have seen the previous examples also. Same thing. This is also called as nature of configuration. So these are more stable and more difficult to remove electrons. Similarly, IE1 of nitrogen will be greater than IE1 of oxygen. Why? Because IE1 have a 3p 3 electrons, and this is 3p 4 electrons per oxygen. So here electrons from the orbital valence shell is easily removed, but it is difficult because it is half filled. So half field is more stable. Similarly, if you remove one electron from this one and from this one also, the second IE2O will be greater because this become half field. 3p3, this become 3p2. So here it is very difficult to take electron from the IP3. Similarly, in the same case happens with the IEP is for phosphorus. So first ionization energy of phosphorus will be greater than the first ionization energy of the sulfur. Similarly, first ionization energy of the arsenic will be greater than the first ionization energy of the selenium. Similarly, first ionization energy of the aluminum will be lesser than the first ionization energy of the magnesium. So because it has 3p1, it has 3s2. So these are the basic facts. Now, ionization energy value of the inert gases. So they have fully filled orbitals: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. So it is very difficult to take out electrons. They are already stable. So if you disturb it, they become highly unstable. So it is we require very large electron can be removed. Electron can be removed from all the electrons. We can remove not only valence electron, any electron can be removed from the atoms. Okay, but it requires much higher energies to remove the electrons. Okay. Relative stability of the symmetric configurations. What is meaning of symmetrical configurations? Symmetric configuration means half field or full field. So if it is D5, P3, D10, D6. So P is more closer to nucleus. So if P6 there, it has more stability. T10 is followed by more stability than P3. So this is the stability order of the orbital. So you just learn this one and keep in mind. So now some more example questions are there. So here you can just see the question and you can understand. The question is ionization energy of the iodine. So iodine iodide is lesser than the ionization energy of the take first ionization energy of the iodine. Why it is less? Because here effective nuclear charge is less, because more number of electrons. Z by E ratio is here less, here Z by E ratio will be more, because E has less electron, here E has more electron, one more electron there. Definitely effective nuclear charge become less, so ionization energy of the iodine will be greater than the iodine minus. Similarly, Li and Li plus, so here effective nuclear charge is more, here effective nuclear charge will be less. So definitely what happens, energy of the lithium ion will be greater than the lithium. Same. So some more question I have written here, just this you can practice how to calculate the ionization energy. Some questions are there, problems. Calculate the amount of energy required to convert 5 moles of sodium atom in the gaseous state to form sodium ions. So you have to find sodium atom is converted to sodium plus charge, and this is 5 moles. And for one atom they have given 5.1 electron volt, so you can calculate the for the 5 moles of, so this is the answer. Calculate the amount of energy required to convert 7.974 gram of cesium atom in the gaseous state to form cesium ions. So again, if you remove one electron, so it becomes cesium ions. Okay, and ion energy of cesium for 1 mole of atom is 374 kilojoule they have given, and one mass of the one atom is also they have given. So we require total number of atoms. Okay, so here weight is given, so first you convert this weight into moles, and for 1 mole this much energy is there. Okay, so this much number of moles, how many energy will be required? Okay, so answer will be, your energy required will be 22.4 per kilojoule. Just you can try this problem and solve it. So in this way you will answer it.